Welcome to part one of a two-part series designed to put the XP Deus through its paces. Now in part one we're going to be searching ancient woodland, and in part two we're going to be searching some ancient pasture. So without any further ado, let's get cracking with part one. As a general rule, this isn't the sort of target I would dig in woodland because it's quite close to the surface and we're very often plagued with shotgun cartridges and surface trash. If I was searching woodland, I tend to listen out for those quiet, deep, longer targets, and I'm not really over fussed about digging deep iron because the fact that the iron's deep could well mean it's ancient, such as tools, weapons, cannonballs. It could be absolutely anything. So the shallow targets make me nervous, the deeper targets excite me. But of course there's different types of woodland. Some ancient coins are on the surface literally, but I know this woodland quite well and this is a shallow target, so it doesn't give me confidence, but we're going to dig it anyway, so here we go. It's coming up at about 41 on the metre. And there's the culprit, look, a shotgun cartridge. And you may have noticed there that my digging tool has changed from my usual digging tool. I normally use quite a wide spade on pasture and farmland, but in this instance it's very, very stony and there's lots of roots, so I need something which is really going to cut through the roots and get in between the stones. Okay, digging can be a little bit more intense because of the width of it. You have to take more small spadefuls out, but this is certainly the tool for the job. Ah, now that is exactly what we're listening out for. That's a lovely soft sound, isn't it? And that's telling us it's either small or deep. Now, before I dig this target, let me just have a quick talk about the Deus Programs. At the moment, we're using the factory default Deus Deep Program, which is an all-round deep program. But if you did want to go deeper, specifically on those bigger targets, I'd recommend you try the Goldfield program, and we've got some videos on that. But just for general searching with that little bit extra punch, the deep program seems to be working quite well for me. So let's dig this target out and see what we got. That's a bit better, isn't it? Let's not mess around, let's get the pinpoint probe straight on this. And that looks like it's a buckle. Perhaps a medieval or Tudor buckle, I really don't know, but at least we're going that little bit deeper and getting the older stuff now. That's what we're looking for, that nice quiet sound. There's no stuttering to it, it's lovely and smooth both ways. I think this one's a digger. This spade, I've got to say, is going through these roots really, really well. Still going, look. Okay, I've hit the hard ground now, so I'm going to move on to my second digging tool, which is just a normal hand trowel. Wow, look at that. That is a big coin. You can see how the Deus give us the right information, that nice, quiet, repeatable sound, and it turned out to be what I think is a Roman coin. Fantastic. Another one of those bright signals, but just to settle my mind, I'm going to just have a quick look at this just to make sure it's not scattered hammered coins, for example. Here we go. Already the target's moved, so yeah, it's a surface find. And you also get that double bleep with a surface find. And there it is, another shotgun cartridge. So my intuition is absolutely spot on this time. I've got a real small quiet target there, but because I'm underneath a tree, it could easily be a very small air rifle pellet, you know, the little lead pellets. So what I'm going to do before I start digging is just give it a scrape with my foot and see if the target moves. Brilliant news, the target's still there, so let's have a look. You can hear how quiet that is. It's only just registering, and we're getting no numbers coming up on the screen. Oh, there's a root there, so I've got to be careful. Okay, let's go in with the digging tool now. And of course the probe. Somewhere down there, but we're underneath the tree roots, which is a really good sign. As you can see, the earth is changing colour now, it's getting a little bit lighter. Right, I can feel roots all the way down there. Oh, we're out. Haha, another one of those big coins. Look at that. Now it's no surprise really we're finding these big coins, because this is indeed an ancient woodland, and we've found quite a few of these big Roman coins in the past, and that's why I'm confident doing a video here, because I know there's deep targets. So that's 2 Roman coins and a buckle. We're not doing bad. Search coils and frequencies. Well, I'm using the X35 11-inch coil in this forest because previous experiences have told me this is the one that works for me. If I was to use the 13-inch coil, it would still work well, but I think it would be a little bit too big to get in between some of those tree roots. And of course the HF coil. If you've got the HF coil, drop it down to 14 kilohertz and you'll still punch pretty deep. So don't spend too much time thinking about what coil to use in what circumstance. They all work well, it's just personal choice. Programs. The XP Deus has got so many factory programs installed for different search scenarios, but you've got a program called Deep, and that is just a switch on and go program, and as you saw today, it punches pretty deep with no adjustments at all. But if you want to dig a little bit deeper into the Deus, sure, you can make your own custom program for your own piece of land. And also what we talked about earlier, the Goldfield program. Now that program really does punch deep on those bigger relics. So you've got so many choices here within the Deus RC. But personally for me today, the Deep program was the one to go for. I've got two targets next to each other here. One I'm pretty convinced is iron, because it's a choppy sound, isn't it? And it's not very inviting at all. But the one next to it is that lovely ghosty sound again, a nice sweet two-way signal. So I think this is the one we need to investigate. You can feel this spade just cutting through the roots under there. And there's that light soil again, look. There's a big root there just going across and we're underneath that. Oh, what's that? Wow. I know exactly what that is. That's a Roman fibula. And that's been under that ground for 1800 years, I should imagine. And I think that's a perfect time to finish this video. I hope you've picked up some top tips regarding deep targets in woodland. And don't forget to join us in part 2, where we're going on some ancient pasture and we're going to apply the same techniques. So it's bye from me.